As I explained earlier in this series, Delphi's TreeView comes with methods to save and load the tree to and from a file. But now I've added objects to the nodes because I've added these multi-line text notes, and they're associated with the nodes, as you can see. As I click a node, I get the associated text shown down here in the box. Well, now that I've associated those data objects, I can't just use the standard functions to save and load the TreeView. I'm going to have to write my own code to save the associated data, the text associated with each node, so that I can rebuild the TreeView complete with the associated text later on. Now, this is going to be quite complicated to understand just by looking at this short video. So if you're interested in looking at the code in more detail, as always, I've provided it free. It's free for download from the Bitwise Books website. And so download the source code and try it out in your own time. This is the TV6 project, and you'll find that in the archive. Now in this project, you see that I've got a save item on the menu. So that's what I'm going to use when I want to save the TreeView and its associated data. Now here you can see the code that executes when that is run. Now this first creates a file stream. In short, a file stream is just a sequence of bytes which can be of any type of data, and it can be written to and saved into a file. Now the count property of TreeView1.items returns the number of nodes, and I need to save an integer representing the number of nodes at the start of the stream. And that's because when I come to write some code to rebuild the tree, when it reloads that data later on, the saved data, I'll be able to use that integer, the one that I wrote, into the stream to find out how many nodes I need to recreate. Now, the writeBuffer method, which is used to write a file stream, takes two arguments. The first is the piece of data itself. The second is the number of bytes required to store the data. Now here, the size of function is used to determine the number of bytes. Having established the number of nodes, I then write the data from both the node labels and the associated objects into the stream. And that's done inside a for loop that iterates from the first node at index 0 to the last node at index num of nodes minus 1. The minus 1 because this is 0 based. Writing the text label of the node is simple. First, the text is assigned to a 255 character fixed length string called LBL for the label, and that's written to the stream using writeBuffer. I also need to store the node's level in the tree because the tree, different branches can be indented to different levels. And that's going to let me indent each branch to the appropriate level when the data is reloaded from disk later on. The level property of the tree node provides this information. Node level equals TreeView1.items, and I get the item number, and then dot level. Now I can save the text from the noteob object associated with the current node. This is not quite as straightforward as saving text from the node's label, which was a fixed length string, so it's really quite simple. The string in the noteob object is of dynamic length. It could contain 0 bytes, nothing at all. It could contain hundreds of thousands of bytes, depending on how much text the user has entered. Remember that to remind you that this text down here, you could enter quite a lot of text if you wanted to do so. And each time I do that, the updated text is stored and associated with that node. So it could be an unguessable amount of data that you need to save. So I therefore need to calculate the precise length, the actual length of the text contained within the string variable txt. The length function returns the number of characters in the string. And I've written another loop that writes each character in the string from 1 to the string length slen. And that's pretty much all there is to it. There's just one thing that I haven't explained, and that's loading. So let's give you an example. I'll show you that this really does work. So I'm going to change some text here, put some extra text here, verify that's saved, yes. Now I'm going to save this with the changes. start a new document, and then open the one that I saved. And if I go down here, you can see it saved my changes. So I need to now explain how the open, the code associated with file open, how that rebuilds the tree and the data using the file that I saved earlier. That's the subject of the next lesson in this series. To learn programming in depth, enroll in one of my courses or read one of my books. More information at bitwisebooks.com.